Oh my God.
And you'll be right from
They just got Friday.
Jesus, is that you?
I don't know.
long time no see,
Hey,
buddy.
and is that in like this? Alright, if we can have your attention, please. Amber's going to tell us how she did the bell ringer. Let's pay close attention in case anyone made a mistake and we can see what mistake we made. Amber, whenever you explain it to them, make sure you talk kind of loud so that way the person on Google Meet, those on the video can hear you, and because they can't really see what you wrote on the board.
I divided 5 times 40 and I got 125. And I divided 40 by 40 is 1. And the first answer is 0.125 miles per minute. Then I multiplied 60 by that and I got 7.5. Then I times 1 by 60 and I got 60. And the second answer is 7.5 miles.
Awesome, thank you. Parker, tell us, do you agree or disagree?
Agree.
Yeah, very good. So for your unit rate, you should have gotten 0.125 miles per minute. And then for how many miles in 60 minutes, you should have gotten 7.5 miles. So first, to solve these, first you find the unit rate, and then you times it by however long they want you to times it by to find the same answer.
Oh. I got the same like
around 0.
But then that's gonna mean,
Yeah.
Since it's a terminating decimal, since it's 0.125, I wouldn't round. If it was like 0.1256789 and kept going on and on forever, then I would round. But since it only has 3 decimal places and it terminates, I wouldn't round.
For the first one, it's divided 40 by 5.
No, you should have done 5 divided by 40.
Oh.
Yeah, I accidentally did times.
You did times
Yeah,
divide.
I got 200.
Now make sure when finding the unit rate, you divide.
I got the second one right there.
What other questions do you have for me? Okay. Make sure you make corrections. You can go ahead and put your bell ringer up. Wednesday.
Is it over stuff like this?
Well, my brain's gonna be hurt.
He did like 4 tests over this exact thing.
Did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, if I can have your attention, please.
I'm not do that. No.
Oh, it's about time you start to learn.
If you're still having trouble with this, I recommend coming in before or after school. You can either come in and see me before or after school, or you can go into the library and get some tutoring on it before you test on Wednesday.
I have tutoring.
I do too.
You guys actually have.
If I have your attention, please.
No.
Turn around, face the front. Stop with the noises. Today you have an assignment. You're going to show your work on notebook paper, and you're going to turn it into me. If everyone right now at the top of your paper would please title it Chapter 5 Review. Chapter 5 Review, and then write your name at the top of it. So title your paper Chapter 5 Review and write your name at the top. Now, there may be problems that you will not have to show work on. Okay, so it's okay if you don't show work on every single problem. However, the majority of the problems you should have work shown for them on your paper. When you're finished, you'll turn your paper into me. If you do not finish, it's homework due at the beginning of class tomorrow when the tardy bell rings. All right, what do you do if you don't finish your assignment?
It's due by tomorrow morning,
Okay, Kason, repeat that for me.
Do it at the beginning of class and the buildings.
If you don't finish today. Gavin, repeat that for me.
Do tomorrow at the beginning of class and start over.
Yeah, if you don't finish it today in class. Hopefully you get finished and you do not have homework. Tomorrow we will have a review activity, and then Wednesday you will have your chapter 5 test. Okay? All right. What questions do you have for me before I tell you where to go to get started? Okay. All right, it's an individual assignment. What we're going to do, starting off, you cannot listen to music.
What?
However, let's see how much
Can't
time.
listen to
5,
music.
10, 15.
Yeah, you can, you got that.
If everybody is working, and I do not have to keep telling people to stay on task and keep working, if everybody's on task, working, doing what they're supposed to, then I will let you listen to music the last 15 minutes.
How was that fair? We earned they listen to music.
Yeah, but a lot of people get distracted. A lot of
I know
people
my
get
rights. Well,
distracted.
then they shouldn't be able to listen to music.
I just heard my music.
Okay. I could just take it away completely and not let you listen to music whatsoever.
But then we worked.
Guys, I was just smack him. Did I not
Okay. All right, so it's on Big Ideas Math. So you need to get on to Big Ideas Math, and it should say Chapter 5 Review. And as I stated, if everybody's working, well, we did Chapter 5 Review. If everybody's working and on task, I will let you listen to music for the last 15 minutes of class while you're working.
How many questions?
It'll tell you as soon as you get on there. It tells you on the directions. Hey guys, whenever you open it up, make sure you read the directions.
Big Ideas Math.
Go to Big Ideas Math, Chapter 5 Review. Make sure you read the directions. Skylar, maybe you can get your feet down, please. Thank you. Alright, so Colin, that also means you need to be working on Chapter 5 Review on Big Ideas Math. And you need to show your work
Is that
on a piece of paper. Alright, if you have questions, raise your hand.
Explain your reason.
Yes. Okay, get out your notes. And look up ratios and then find the part that says equivalent ratios. Yeah, ratios, now find equivalent ratios. That's, go over to, those are vocab, go over to the notes.
23 questions.
Yes, you need
Dang, doesn't that suck for you? Oh.
Do we have to write down the ones that like have the sentences?
What do you mean?
Like the one that says like
First
explain your
name.
reasoning.
Like, are you saying like, do you have to like write down your reasoning?
Those are my
No, like but I have to write down the question and then
like the words.
You need to show your work, but you don't have to like write down the like question part. Like you would write down the problem and work it out, and then you would type in your answer, and then where it says explain your reasoning, you would type that in. Like you don't have to write down the words, explain your reasoning.
Well, you have to do that on the paper too.
Yeah, well, that's what I just
I hate it.
Listen.
So we don't get a check, or we do get checks?
It tells you in the directions. Did you read the directions?
We do not get a check.
Okay, we do.
No check.
It tells you in the directions.
Wait, it gives me a check? What do you mean?
Yeah, it gives me shit.
What question do you want?
I don't know how to
Why you
explain
not
this,
give me a
Mr.
check on 1, 2, 3?
Just say either it is equivalent or it's not equivalent, and explain why it is or why it is not.
I'm a smart kid.
Like you can say how you knew it was equivalent or how you knew it was.
Hey, that's about Ian's paycheck. $15.
Hey guys, hey, send this around. You need to be working.
That's what we want to 7.
The first two questions, do you want us to write down?
You need to show your work. Like where you show your work, you show that they're equivalent, you need to show that.
I'll send you.
I got a smile with you.
We got your notes, so they need to go in the phone, you'll be over 5.3. So the bag contains green tokens and black tokens. There's 24 green tokens and the ratio is 8 to 5. Find the number of black tokens. Okay, so let's look at ratios. Alright, so ratios, are 2 to 6, or you can do 2 to 6 or 2/6. And to get an equivalent ratio, you multiply them by the same number. So like 1 to 3 would be the same as 2 to 6. Okay, So let's say, where's your folder at, where there's actual examples?
Let you shank.
Shank you.
Okay, so like here, it says there's 2 cups of flour for every 3 cups of oatmeal, so we did a ratio, 2 to 3, flour to oatmeal. And then it says there's 9 cups of oatmeal, so we put 9 on the bottom. Well, then we had to find the top number, so 3 times 3 is 9, so to find the top number, you would do 2 times 3, which is 6. So you just need to set up a ratio, which they already did, the ratio says 8 to 5, so you write that down first. And I would put it as a fraction. Okay, and then it's 8 to 5, it says the ratio, that's green to black, so over here to the side, I would put a G on top for green and a B on bottom for black. Okay, and then it says there are 24 green tokens, so you're gonna set up another ratio that has 24 green tokens, so where did you put green, on top or bottom? So you're gonna put 24 on top, over, and we don't know how many black there are. Okay, and make that equal. Okay, now you can solve this 2 different ways. You can either do it like I showed you, where you multiply these both by the same number, or you can do cross products. Which method do you prefer? Okay, so use cross products to solve for x. And then that'll give you the number of black tokens, if that's what it's asking for. Is that what it's asking for? Yep, that'll give you the number of black tokens. You can. It says a bag contains 3 red marbles, and the ratio of red to blue is 3 to 7. So that means for every 3 red marbles, there's 7 blue marbles. Find the number of blue marbles. Okay, so there's 3 red marbles, so how many blue marbles? If there's 7 blue marbles for every 3 red. Okay. It says for every, okay, so every time you have 3 red marbles, you have 7 blue. Okay, so if I have 3 red marbles, how many blue marbles are you going to have?
7.
There you go. You just gave me the answer. Put the answer. It says the ratio is 3 to 7.
Yes, I know.
So that means if I have, let's say we both have, let's say I have red marbles, you have blue. For every 3 red marbles I have, you have 7 blue marbles. It says I have 3 red marbles. How many blue marbles you got? Okay. What if it would have said that I had 6 red marbles? How many would you have had? You got 7 for every 3 of mine.
Oh.
You would have 14 if I had 6 red. But I've only got 3 red, so that's why it's 7. Or you could set up cross, you could do, it's red to blue. So I would do red to blue, which is 3 to 7. And set up your proportion. A bag contains 3 red marbles, so you put 3 on top, those reds on top. And then X.
That's not hers.
Okay, so you do 3 times X equals 7 times 3, which is 21, divided by 3. X equals 7. That's another way you can do it. Do I? Okay, wait till Peyton has a seat and you can sharpen your pencil. Oh, I'm sorry. It must have been stuck to that one. Oh, sorry.
How'd they get 4 out of 5 on this? And you got 2 more.
Because 2 of the days we didn't have a bell ringer, so you got credit for those automatically.
Alright.
Yes.
I understand.
Okay, get out your notes and go to equivalent, or go to ratios, 5.1 ratios. Okay, so equivalent ratios have the same, have the same rate. So like 1 to 3 would be equivalent to, that should say 2 to 6. Okay, and how I know that they're equivalent, 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6, so you multiply them by the same number. And get out, or get your folder, let me show you, some examples. I'll be doing more examples on your folder. Or on the paper. Well, just a second, I have to come down. If you have questions, I'll raise your hand, and I can help you out there. Hey guys, making noises. You should be working. Alright, so let's see here, let's find one that says equivalent ratio, right here, it says determine whether they're equivalent. So we have 4 to 3 and 20 to 15. 4 times 5 is 20, 3 times 5 is 15. They're just, you multiply them by the same, so that means
Is
that,
this the way you gotta like find out which ones like multiply and then end up the same number?
if they end up the same number, they're equivalent. If they're different numbers, they're not. So like here, you have to do 5 times 2 is 10, and 7 times 3 is 21, so they're not.
I know the answer, but I don't know how to get there.
Okay, well, what, we have marbles, I have red, you have blue. For every three red marbles I have, you have 7 blue marbles. Okay, so if I have 3 red, how many blue you got? Okay, what if I had 6 red? How many would you have? There you go. Okay, the way you solve it, it says it's red, it says the ratio of red to black. So do red over black. I would do R over B. And they say it's 3 to 7, so do 3 over 7 equals, there. Now, it says, you have 3 red marbles, so that would go on top or bottom. Top. And we don't know how many black marbles we have, so put a line and put X. Now use cross products to solve it. What would you do first? And then you would solve that for X to get your answer. Do you have a question? Alright, give me a second. Ethan had his hand up. Yes.
On this one, I did like.
It's green to black, so 8 to 5, green to black, or 24 green. So if it says 24 green, where should the 24 go, top or bottom? Yep, because it was green to black, so green was on top. Okay, so they need to be equivalent ratios. Get out your notes, get out your folder notes.
You still solve for X though, right?
Yes, still solve for X. And look at 5.1 notes, the paper notes with the dollars and stuff on them. Yeah, it'll be 5.1.
Yeah. You're so fast.
You can listen to music, you can play on your Chromebook, you can read. Okay, what about the worksheet that I just gave you back?
I got all of them. Everybody's got
Right here.
except for one.
So, figure out their equivalent ratios. Here's what you do. It says 4 to 7 and 8 to 16. So you can go 4 to 7, 8 to 16. Alright, now I just showed you an example. Right here, I did 2 to 8, 12 to 48. What you do is you see what you multiply them by to get the other one. 2 times 6 is 12. 8 times 6 is 48. Since these are the same, they're equivalent. 4 from 4 to 8, you would multiply by 2. Well, if you did 7 times 2, what would you get? And that's a 16, so that would be no. So that's how you figure out your equivalent. So like if I had 2 to 3 and 6 to 9, 2 times what is 6? Okay, so this side you would have to multiply by 3. What's 3 times 3? So those would be equivalent. 3, oh wait. Let's do 18. 3 times what is 18? Okay, what's 5 times 6? That would be 30. So are these equivalent? No. There you go. That's how you figure out if they're equivalent. Alright. Ann, are you finished?
No.
Okay, let's be working. We need to get that off our head, please. I'm gonna be working. Alright guys, I have a bell ringer that has no name, and there's about 3 or 4 people that have a 0 for this bell ringer. At the end of class, or when you're done with your assignment and you turn in your work, whenever you bring your work to me, come up here and check this bell ringer and see if it's yours. But don't do it right now, only if you're done with your assignment.
What's he going? 15. Silly, 54.
It says a bag contains green and black, there's 24 green, and the ratio of green to black is 8 to 5. So write that ratio, 8 to 5.
17.
And then beside it to the left, I would label which one's green, which one's black.
Very slow.
I am.
You can put T or you can go out for you. Okay, then put your equals. And then it says there's 24 green, so where would you put the 24? And then they're asking how many black ones there are, so what would you, since we don't know how many black, what would you do? There you go, now so it's correct. Alright, are we finished?
Almost. I got like
Alright, awesome.
5 more.
That's good.
Got a
4
boy.
actually. She has. Teacher did.
Okay, so you gotta fill in the missing table, so the missing numbers, you have your pencil.
Alright.
Alright, so for an example, let's say I had 6 over 3. For my table to get this number, I would divide it multiply 3, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Then I would do 6 divided by 3, which is 2. And then or you can multiply them by the same number. So let's say there was an 8 here. What did I multiply 2 by to get 8? 4. So you would have to multiply this by 4 also. What is 1 times 4? Okay, so they went from 2 to 1. So what did they divide 2 by? So you gotta do 14 divided by 2. Then they got 21. So how did they get from 7 to 21? What did they multiply by? There you go, so you have to multiply that by 3.
I think Colin texted you.
Okay, I'll check it in just a second. Alright. Now, they go 3 to 8.
Like he got her number.
What did they have to multiply that by?
I'm mad.
Probably, bro.
3 times 5 is 6. 6. So if they multiply that by 6, they're not multiply that by 6. Yep, now you just fill in, because now all of these are equivalent ratios. 2 to 14 is the same as 1 to 7, the same as 3 to 21, and the same as 18 to 1.6. Was there anyone over here that had their hand up before I go see what Colin?
No, ma'am.